banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From a place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, this is the instant reaction to today's game against West Ham United. And yeah, before I get into the comments, guys, please hit those likes. Thank you very much. It does help the channel, the search results. So smash those likes. That would be great. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. That is free to do so. It helps the channel grow. Also, by hitting the bell notification, that will tell you when I'm live, I have a pre-recorded video, or any upcoming shows. Thank you very much indeed for that. Yeah, so thank you indeed, guys. Yeah, so today was Newcastle United 1, West Ham United 1. Before we get into it, I'll get into some comments first of all. And Ian's first in, he says, "Hi Tony, not the best performance today, but at least we're still unbeaten." Yes, absolutely, mate, we're still unbeaten. That's the main thing, isn't it? Mag debates, I thought was a fair result. Yeah, definitely. And he also says, West Ham probably had their best game of the season. Yeah, probably was, to be fair. They played really well. They took the game to us, that's for sure. Very boring second half, says Lewis. Yeah. Well, we did go at it, didn't we? But Mag debates says frustrating. Pete, hi Pete mate, hope you're well. He says a draw, fair result, was sluggish and lacklustre. Gordon looks sharp. He starts against Bournemouth, I would say. Do you know what it is, Pete? I totally agree. I thought Maxi went at his best today, to be fair, and well, I'm going to get into all that. And Maxi was wasteful, says Mag. Yeah, he was, definitely. I mean, to be fair, we started off well. We thought we had took an early lead after 38 seconds when Joe Willock scored. But after closer examination and VAR, the ball was well over the line. So unfortunately, it wasn't like the Japan-Spain game where Japan got that goal because the curvature of the ball was just on the line. This case, it was well past the line. So it was no goal at the end of the day. But for the... What does I say? For the... Yes... But a couple of minutes after that, then Callum Wilson latched onto a beautiful through ball from Sean Longstaff. What a ball that was. And Wilson hit it with a plum in the back of the net, 1-0. And you thought, right, okay, this is it now. We're going to go for the jugular. I can see 2-3-0 coming here easily. But then that wasn't the case. West Ham dug in. And they got an equaliser through, Lewis Paquetá and... Maybe you could question the defending. Not really great. I mean, Almiron goes out to cover with Ben Rama. And at the front of that, that near post, there was a big wide area left open there. And, you just think if somebody told Joe Linton to push himself forward a few steps, he could have made that big difference because he had a Guerrero on his back. And the ball came over. Trippier tussling with Paquetá, and then all in all, he got the ball back and in the back of the net through the legs of Trippier and Pope. So you sort of kind of felt deflated at 1-1. But then West Ham had the ascendancy. They were playing really well and they were taking the game to us. We went in half-time 1-1. Second half, you sort of thought, right, okay, Maxi hasn't played well in this first half, by the way. He looked well off the pace. He just didn't look, his head didn't look in this as if he wanted to be here. He just didn't look like the Maxi that we know. So then you tend to think, okay, second half, let's see how we do. Do we make an early substitution? Then we kept faith with the 11 that were out there. And then eventually, I think it was on 65 minutes, Gordon came on for his debut, 68 minutes. And to be fair, I thought Gordon looked sharp. He looked decent. And I think it was Ian. Oh, no, I think it was Pete. Pete says we've got to start Gordon next week. Absolutely. I thought he looked great when he came on. He looked sharp. He looked up for it. Maxi just didn't look great at all. We had a couple of chances in that second half to score a winner. Wilson was through on goal when that lovely ball from Anthony Gordon. What a ball that was. And I think if Wilson just had that little bit extra pace, he possibly would have, Gued probably wouldn't have got anywhere near Wilson. And that could have been in the back of the net, and that could have been 2-1. And he did have a header as well, which went straight to Fabianski. Had that been Isak, that could have been in the back of the net. The same with that through ball. If that was Isak, that's probably in the back of the net. There's no way Aguirre's getting near Isak. But you know what? All in all, it's a point. And yeah, I mean, I know some people might be disappointed that we've only got a point, but you got to look at where we've come from. Look where we were 12 months ago. Look where we are now. I mean, it's a fantastic achievement in 12 months to be in a cup final and to be sitting fourth in the Premier League. But one thing we've got to remember now is all these teams that are playing in Europe, Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, they're all playing European games. So that makes it a little bit easier for us, and they'll tire out more. But overall, like I say, a point I think is a fair result. It's just onwards and upwards. We just got to go to Bournemouth now and change the result down there and get a win down there. But all in all, can't be disappointed. I mean, yeah, we're disappointed we're getting too many draws. That's a problem. But, if we end up staying in this top four, that'll be an absolutely brilliant season and winning the cup. I mean, that would be absolutely the icing on the cake. But let's not get too down on it. Still plenty to go. We're still 4 points out of Tottenham. Yes, we want Man City to beat Tottenham tomorrow, and I believe Man City will probably beat Tottenham in all fairness. And it's just sort of great now for the rest of the season. And, we can't criticise them too much. I mean, the lads have put everything out there. Maybe Tuesday's cup hype is still on their minds, and, but we couldn't break West Ham down in the second half. Even Eddie Howe's just said there, he says West Ham were difficult to break down, and he says we've got to learn to break these teams down. He was disappointed with the defending. He says it was nowhere near the high standards that we set for their goal. And but yeah, overall, like I say, we can't be too disappointed. Like we say, it draws a fair result, and at 1-1, it's not bad really. Ian says Gordon was our best player in my opinion. Yeah, I thought Gordon had a terrific game, didn't he? He was everywhere. Are you putting a link in, mate? I'm not tonight, Gordon. Sorry, mate. Clinton says, played well, build up to slow to break there. Most players tired and did well. I think Anderson and Gordon look sharp. Yeah, again, Anderson and Gordon did look really sharp. I thought they were terrific. Anderson coming on as a sub. Even Murphy got a couple of free kicks, didn't he? So, you kind of look and think, West Ham, it took a while for them to get a player booked. I mean, why didn't Ben Rama get booked for that dive in the first half? Yes, Joe Linton got booked for a blatant dive in the second half, but Ben Rama, that dive he done, I mean, that was just poor as well. But again, why wasn't he pulled over for that? So I don't get it. I really don't get it. Yeah. But I thought the referee overall, I don't think the referee was that great to be. I thought the referee, well, I don't know what rating I'll give the referee, but I tell you what, I don't think he was very great. Peter Banksy was literally very, very poor in my opinion. But again, it's just one of them, isn't it? It is what it is at the end of the day. Clinton says, played well, build up, play too slow to break them. Most players tired and did well. Yeah, they did look sharp. Sorry, I just read that comment, didn't I? Mike says, apart from our defence and midfield and forwards were Brucey's side. Well, yeah, I mean, Joe Linton done all right. Not his greatest game. We did miss Bruno in that middle, but this is what we got to do. We've got to cope when we haven't got these players in. But again, I mean, like I say, Maxi was just out of sorts altogether. And to me, no disrespect to Maxi. If he sits on the bench for the rest of the season, then maybe bring him on as an impact sub. I mean, yeah, we were pleading for him to be picked on Tuesday after the way he was against Southampton the previous week, but he was just well off the pace for me, Maxi. Paul says, too many players casual on the ball today, like some same last game, giving the ball away in silly positions. Yeah, again, we give balls away in silly positions, and we could have been punished for it. But yeah, again, and then he goes on to say 4 draws in 5 games, not bad, but not great considering the chances we've had. No, I mean, look, it isn't. I mean, you know, we're just drawn too many games, though. That's the problem. But let's hope these draws don't come back to haunt us. I mean, Eddie Howe, stats are there. He's second. He's got the second highest unbeaten run now in the Premier League. If he gets past 25 games, then he becomes the best. So Frank Clark is ahead of him from 95 for Forest. So if Eddie Howe gets 26 games unbeaten, which is a possibility, then, you know, he becomes the longest unbeaten run by an English manager. So absolutely happy days if that happens. Casemiro out is fantastic for us. Mag, he's not out completely, mate. He misses 3 games, but unfortunately he's back for the final because Man U got to play Leeds twice, and I can't remember who the other team is they're playing, but they've got 3 Premier League games before the final, so yeah. But I'm sure we can tame Casemiro. Joe Linton, hello mate, hope you're well. He says, not good enough. This is exactly why we needed midfielders. Yeah, we were desperate for somebody in January, but I think the owners realised that it's getting players in January. It's a hard window, it really is. You've got to pay top dollar. Rather got 2 players instead of Gordon for the squad, says Joe Linton. I mean, I thought Gordon played well when he come on. He was brilliant. Didn't think he was too bad at all. I don't know what Ashworth's doing. I'm sure he's got good deals lined up for the summer, that's for sure. Junior, hi mate, hope you're well. I love your song, by the way, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. Need to get you back on the channel, mate, before the cup final. Any chance you can come on before the cup final? That'd be great, mate. He says, I can't wait to see a fully fit squad. A lot of young pace with talent. Yeah, definitely Junior. And I think we missed Isak because he could have come off and possibly made a difference today. But obviously concussion rules, he's got to be out for 10 days. But hopefully he's back against Bournemouth next week. And nice to see Callum Wilson get a goal today because he hasn't been on on the ball for quite a while. But yeah, today he was on it today and he scored. Shame he didn't have the pace for that second, that through ball from Gordon. But yeah, hopefully by the final we've got mostly a fully fit squad. Paul says, just think last season and before these draws would be defeats. Remember, still building. When we get more depth, those draws will be wins. Again, yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, that's the thing. At the end of the day, yes, we need to turn some of these draws into wins, and I'm sure we will do. But like you say, last season we would have been looking at games like this and thinking, oh, I would rather have a draw against West Ham because I don't want to get beat. So, yeah, it's totally different now. I know a lot of people are probably disappointed at the fact that we've got a draw, but you've got to look on the positive. We haven't lost the game. Junior says, fans are so quick to jump on a minor bump in the road. Remember the last 14 years. And also we are going to Wembley. Embrace the positive, lads. We are our own worst enemy sometimes. Yeah, well said, Junior. Well said, mate. And I mean, he's absolutely spot on now with what he's saying. We've got to remember where we've come from. Look what we had under Mike Ashley. Look where we are now. And let's be happy where we are. We're going to hit these sticky patches, and could be worse. We could be where Chelsea are. We could be where Liverpool are. So, let's look at the positives. We've broken through some of the big six, and two of them are languishing mid-table. So it just shows you the progress we've actually made, which is massive, absolutely massive. Paul says we played much better when Maxi went off. Yeah, we did. I thought Maxi was off the pace. I was watching him. I'm thinking, come on, do something. Inspire us. And I just couldn't see nothing from ESM to be inspired about. And that was the problem. And yes, he tried to do a few fancy moves, but other than that, there was nothing there. And he put one cross in, which was quite good. But other than that, he didn't do an awful lot for me, and I was very, very disappointed with him. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for something to come from him. I thought, great, he's starting. Let's see something great come from Maxi, and I didn't see it at all. So, whether he'll still be here in the summer is another one. I'm not 100% sure on that. Junior says, no problem to come on. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you very much. That'd be great. Thank you. We'll sort it out. Clinton says, what I've noticed about Gordon is he could probably be our Madison in the 10 role. Yeah, he could may well be. I mean, he looked sharp when he came on. He was bright. He tried his best. He put that lovely ball through for Wilson. And that was only in a short cameo. I think he's got to start next week. He has to start against Bournemouth next week, in my opinion, because if he doesn't, I'll be very, very shocked, because I thought that lad played well when he come on, and like we say, he showed some great touches on the ball, and look when he helped Burn out when he got back to help Dan Burn. So yeah, we'll see. I think we'll see the best of him. In fact, we'll see better than what even Everton saw of Anthony Gordon. And I know a lot of their fans are laughing that we've took him. But I'll tell you what, we're going to have the last laugh, because this lad is only going to improve. And then Everton are going to look at this and think, oh, hang on, what did we get rid of? So Eddie Howe will improve this lad tenfold. Paul says, I thought we were in for a treat watching them first 5 minutes. This is the thing. I mean, are we going too quick at games and too hard? I mean, we went one up. Are we going too fast and too hard at the start? And then we sort of, tiring a bit? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but maybe we need to start pacing this out a bit. So I don't know. Maxi was poor, says Mag. Yeah, he was, Mag, absolutely. I just didn't think he had a great game at all. I wasn't impressed. And I thought Gordon did okay. Yeah, he did fine. Did Anthony Gordon, and I thought he had a good game. Good cameo. We need to see him from the start, though. Paul says that reverse ball from Gordon through ball for Wilson was a thing of beauty. Yeah, it was. That's the thing. It was an absolute beautiful through ball from Gordon. And to be fair, um, you know, the defender got back. But I think because Wilson hasn't quite got the pace he used to have, but I think if that was Isak on that ball, that defender doesn't get back, in my opinion, because Isak outstrips him every day. So, but as I say, still a draw is a fair result. We take a draw and we move on to the next game. It's just it's one of those, isn't it? You just look at it and you think, if only we had got the 3 points. But as I say, the end of the day, we take a point. It's a positive. That's the way I look at it. It's a positive, So that's the way to look at it. It's a positive. John says, "Big up, my friend. Disappointed today. Poor game, to be fair. Started well with an early goal. We fell apart. Once Gordon come on, he was our only bright spot. ESM had the chance to shine and failed miserably." Yeah, John, absolutely. I've just sent you a link, mate, if you want to pop in to give us your thoughts. I mean, yeah, John, I totally get it. We did start off well, but we just sort of like the defending as well for their goal, John, was poor as well. And even Eddie Howe said that's not how we play, and that's not our high standards. But yeah, Gordon did make a difference when he come on. He looked better. He looked sharp. That through ball for Wilson was spot on. I think if Wilson just had that little bit of turn of pace, he scores. I think if that's Isak instead of Wilson, he scores or he hits the target, because there was no way Aguerd would get anywhere near Isak. But yeah, you're right, John. ESM had the chance and he has failed, and he's failed miserably. And to be fair, I don't want people to give me backlash for this, but what I'm going to say is, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from in the chat, but I think if we get another left winger in the summer, I think we sell ESM. And I know a lot of people are going to look at me and think, oh, why do you want rid of him? But look, he's not done it, has he? Yes, he come on and made an impact against Southampton. Do you use him as an impact sub? But that's the difference. Does he want to be an impact sub? It's a hard one. But is ESM frustrated because he's not playing regular? So he's just having to play a bit part role because he's been injured? I really don't know. But if he continues like that, I think he's got to go in the summer. And I know a lot of fans don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen because I think he's a great player. And on his day, he's a winner. And when he's unplayable, nobody gets near him. But I just don't think Wilson is that player anymore. ESM is cutting it at the moment. And hopefully he sorts it out. Mag says, how are West Ham in the bottom four? Don't know, because they played really poor, haven't they? But they had their best game probably against us, as somebody said earlier in the chat. But yeah, I don't know. Not great, is it though? But maybe this might be the turning point for their season, and it helps them up the table a bit more. So who knows? Christopher says, we look lethargic after scoring so early. Don't know why this was the case. It's almost as if we wanted to keep the handbrake on. Yeah, again, yeah, I just think, are we going too hard too quick at games? And we did that against Southampton. We went 2 up, and then we sort of looked a bit lethargic, and then they got a goal back. Do we just... I don't know. But at the end of the day, we're still unbeaten, and that's the main thing. We're unbeaten in the league. And, let's hope next week we put this draw right and get the 3 points. Plus, I wouldn't miss ESM, to be honest. He puts more effort in his board game or whatever it is. Yeah, fair point, mate. Yeah, absolutely. I would... I would say about ESM. I don't know what was up. He just wasn't on it today at all. So Joe Linton says Gordon wasn't bad. Just we could have invested the 45 million in two players. Yeah, I mean, according to sources, we tried to get Jack Harrison on the transfer deadline day. Didn't get him. Um, it's just one of those things. The January window is such a hard window to bring people in, and I think we'll have a big summer, and hopefully that's when we're in top four as well. Paul says, well, sloppy play from everyone. Longstaff will stand out. Yeah, again, I thought he had a terrific game. I thought he was best player in midfield, to be fair. He's had a lot of stick over the few weeks, but the last couple of games, he's looked rather sharp and rather bright. And like I say, I thought he had a great game tonight. And like I say, his pass for Wilson was sublime, to say the least. And he tried to get things going in midfield, and but we just didn't win the game. Simple as. Paul says, ESM was left side in the box, had players to pass on the edge, could have crossed, done a few step overs, got tackled, fell on his knees, sums his game up. Yeah, again, he just flattered to deceive, didn't he? And that's the problem. Like I say, we have to start Anthony Gordon next week. Simple as. Clinton says West Ham created nothing at all, so we can't break our players because they tried. When we don't win, we still the only team with one loss on the log. Absolutely well said, Clinton. Exactly. That's the thing. We're still only one defeat all season, and Arsenal lost their second game today against Everton, and could have been worse. We could have lost that game, but we didn't. That's the difference. We got a point out of it. And I always say a point is a positive. As if you lose, that's your negative. But your point is a positive. And it's another point towards Champions League qualification. It's a point further away from Tottenham Hotspur as well. So it's all these points add up at the end of the season. And our goal difference as well is bang on better. So that's a good thing. Right, I've got John joining me. Hi, John.
Hi, Tony. How are we doing? You good?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, not the best game today. It all started off pretty well. The first goal from Willock, we thought, oh, great, okay, 1-0 up after 38 seconds till VAR had a look and it was well over the line. Wasn't like the Spain-Japan game, where the curvature of the ball was just on the line. This one was well over the line, and so it was rightly so chalked off. But then, within a couple of minutes, that lovely through ball from Longstaff, Wilson with a plum, straight in the back of the net, 1-0. You thought, right, okay. I thought myself, right, okay, we're 1 up now. This is going to be 2-3. Who knows? But that wasn't the case. I thought the defending was poor for the equaliser, because when Ben Norman moves out, Almiron follows him. He leaves a big gap at the near post. Now, somebody in that defence, like Nick Pope or maybe one of the defenders, should have said,
Damn,
Joe Linton, look, go forward a little bit, just a few steps, and just be there. Because if Joe Linton was there, he probably had us that away. He clears it. But he didn't. Ball come over. Trippier was too busy trying to tangle with Paquetá. And when the ball did come to Paquetá, by the time Trippier adjusts himself, it's too late, because it's through Trippier's legs, through Pope's legs, back of the net, 1-1. But I thought ESM was really poor today, John, as well. He just, I was thinking, come on, Alan, let's see something from you. Let's see some sport. Let's see you play your unplayable best. And you've been out for a while. You had a great impact when you come on against Southampton at the St Mary's Stadium. So I thought, I want to see something from him today, but I didn't see it, John. I didn't get it, and Yes, he put one cross in, but other than that, he was trying to be too fancy with these step overs. And I just thought, come on, I want to see it. I want to see something from you. I've been crying out for you to get back in the team, and I want to see it. And I just saw nothing at all out of him. And if I'm honest, might upset a lot of people, whatever. But I would seriously sell him in the summer.
Tony, you summed it up quite spectacularly. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, I'm thinking about Alison Maximin, right? Excuse me, massive fan of him, right? But I watched his performance today, and that has to be the very worst performance I've seen for ASM ever. And let's be real, right? Before people jump on this, right? ASM's got the world on its feet, okay? And we want to get in the top 4, right, this season. I'll ask you a question, Tony. Are we going to get top 4 this season with ASM in the team? The answer to that one is no, not that performance, yeah? But he was in the early one. We could see the poor goal of the day, which I'm going to come on to, right? But ASM's attitude today was poor, absolutely poor. This is a player that don't want to be at Newcastle anymore in my eyes. You know what I mean? I think he wanted the Milan move. I think he wanted to go to AC Milan, right? But Milan couldn't afford him. Couldn't afford his wages, and that's why they pulled out. Yeah, he's never going to go to Nottingham Forest, Tony. He's never ever going to go to Nottingham Forest, 2-big club, right? He ain't going to go from Newcastle to Forest with the greatest respect to Forest. You know what I mean? But I think his performance today, right, tells me that everyone need to know that this guy wants out. And I know people's going to jump on this, right? But I'm just saying it real. Yeah. Like AFTV today, fans, when they lost to Everton, their fans were real. They speak to the point, they don't jazz it up, okay? You can't back someone if he doesn't deliver, yeah? But that was the game where he's got to come and say, right, you know what? I've got to go out there and I've got to give him me all. I want to stake a claim in this team to show Eddie why I should be in that team. I should be in this team, yeah? I want to get this club in the top 4, yeah? But unfortunately, Tony, right, today, too many step overs. His work rate wasn't great, right? He had that chance when he crossed the ball in, crossed it in when he beat a man. And then when got intercepted, he just stood there, right? Tony, I would have had him for hard time. Anthony Gordon, right, came on the second half, right, and he showed us in 20 minutes on the pitch, 15 touches, 1 key assist, right? This guy should be playing next Saturday. And I think ASM's had his chance. And today, he blew it. Tony, he blew it. We need to play. I want Champions League this season, Tony. I want to be in the top 4. Right? I want to win the Carabao Cup. Yeah? But ASM, right, with that performance today, I think Wan-Bissaka is going to be absolutely loving it. He is going to be smiling today. Do you know what I mean? I would not play him.
I mean, the thing is, John, we were trying to get Jack Harrison apparently now on deadline day. Now, were we trying to get Jack Harrison in? So that meant we got rid of ESM on deadline day. That's the thing. Because it seems rather strange why we were going for another left winger on deadline day when we brought Anthony Gordon in. So that to me suggests now, the more I think about it, we must have been trying to get shot of ESM on. Maybe might have gone on loan to AC Milan, who knows? But maybe that's the reason why we try to get Jack Harrison. I'm surprised that he didn't come to us or anything for talks. He went to Leicester and spoke to Brendan Rodgers on deadline day, but decided to stay at Leeds. But like you say, Anthony Gordon, he has to start next week. Unfortunately, he's got to start next week in my eyes, John. Definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I love ASM, right? Don't get us wrong. But I'm going to judge him on today's... he's going to judge him on today's performance, yeah? Not what he's done before. I'm judging him on today's 90 minutes. I've witnessed him today, right? And he was poor, yeah? But the trouble is, though, Tony, we're not allowed to have a go at players, right? We're not allowed to have an opinion on players as being poor. Am I correct? I'm sorry, but I'll just say that how it is. Yeah, that's going to upset a lot of people. I look at tweets on Luke Edwards, right? he's come out and he said that, look, Jade, after explosive start, really don't get why fans are getting on ASM's case. A player has done so much good in the past and slowly start since August. It's bound to be a little rusty. He needs confidence, not moans and groans. So I'm sorry, Luke Edwards, right? I'm judging him on the 90 minutes I witnessed today, right? And he was poor. I mean, at times he tried to do too much step overs. I mean, they absolutely West Ham worked him out quite easily, and that was it. I mean, I don't want to go on his case. Would I let him go? No, I wouldn't let him. I wouldn't sell him. However, right, but if an offer comes in for him, I'm gonna have to consider it. I think Eddie Howe will don't want him in summer. I think he's gonna let him go at the end of the season. I really do, because to me, I think he would have gone to Milan, and he didn't get it. So. Is his head turned? I don't know. But please, people watch us, just let me talk about ASM on the performance today. So there you go.
I mean, the thing is, you know, you've got to give West Ham credit. They played really well today, and this was probably their best game they've played this season. In all fairness,
yeah.
They could have quite easily beat us, because they had chances. You know, Declan Rice ran their midfield for them. And you can see why he's going to be up, why there's going to be quite a few clubs, probably not just in this country, but abroad for him. You know, probably Spanish clubs,
we talk
German
about Declan.
clubs,
You talk about Declan. Are we talking about ASM or Declan?
Declan Rice, yeah.
That
he ran the midfield for West Ham. That's what I'm saying, West Ham, I thought had a good game. But he'll not be there in the summer for West Ham. And that's going to hurt them next season to try and find somebody good as him to replace them.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is,
yeah, man.
Yes, where we are now is great, John. But now I know it sounds weird, but even if we finish 7th place this season, I wouldn't be disappointed, John, because before this ball was kicked, I did say I would like to finish 7th.
Yeah.
You know, just to get in European Conference League. That gives Europa League, Conference League. So I thought, well, if we finish 7th this season, that's a great season considering where we were last season. Mm-hmm. And still the same now. Mm-hmm. So yes, it'd be nice to finish in the top 4, John, but if we finish 7th, I wouldn't be too disappointed, because I would think, well, that's exactly where I thought we would be at the start, before the season was started. So, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'll be happy as well. And the thing is as well, one fell will see it. I mean, I respect your opinion, yeah, but the top 4, it's up for grabs, really. We're there. Liverpool's been poor. They lost today. Chelsea's been poor, early June, yeah. We should have gotten 2 key players as well. We could have got a midfielder. We should have got a striker in, yeah, while we're 4th. And then we'd have pushed on from 4th. And this is some of the Newcastle fans, right? I mean, don't see the way I'm seeing some of them, right? You know, not all of them, but some of them, right? But you got to improve while you're at top. You know what I mean? But maybe like about ASM, I'm sticking by the comments today. I'm judging on today's performance. He was poor. But you are right, Tony. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to finish 7th, then you're going to have to take it. You know what I mean? You're going to have to push on. But it could have been better. But hey-ho, that's football. But another thing is, Tony, we've drawn too many games. That's another thing you need to cut out, especially at home, because we have drawn way too many games now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this game today has been a reality check, because we were on the high after the cup game, and but like I say, West Ham, I believe probably where they are, they're in a false position anyway, 4th bottom or whatever they are at the moment, or 5th bottom. You know, I just don't know what their problems have been, because, like I say, they played really well today, and they deserve to draw out of that. They're probably kicking themselves, thinking they probably could have walked away with 3 points. West Ham, to be fair,
they could have done.
But it is what it is, John. It's a positive at the end of the day. It's a point, and let's see where we end up at the end of the season. As I say, if we finish 7th, I wouldn't be disappointed, because I'd look at it and think, well, actually, that's massive progress from last season. When you think last season when we finished, I think we finished about 8 points off 7th place. And we finished 11th. So to think how bad we'd started last season, to when Eddie Howe got his first win for us against Burnley in December.
Mhm.
And then again, we didn't get another win until in January when John Joe Shelby popped up with that goal against Leeds United from that free kick. And then that really kick-started us on. So, all in all, it's been a massive progress. And
Yeah.
while people might be disappointed, but don't be too disappointed because, look,
I know.
one thing is we're on 40 points now. And that means we are definitely safe in the Premier League. Definitely.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Absolutely.
like I say, we just got to see where we are at the end
Yeah.
of the season. Before I get
Absolutely.
to Pete, I'm just going to run through some comments to catch up.
Can I just say quickly, Tony, right now, make it quick, right? But all I'm saying is, it's not a criticism of ASM. I'm judging on the 90 minutes I witnessed today that he's been poor today. When I sell him, I wouldn't let him go, but it looks like he's been on sale in the summer. I hope he doesn't go, but he's done a lot of good things at Newcastle, like the food bank and that sort of thing. He's a fantastic player, but today, what I've seen today, he has been very, very poor. I can see Ian's comments as well said, I can't say about ASM with Alex on TV, we won't like it. Well, you tell my guy Lee Gunner that sort of thing, if he was a Newcastle fan, then I tell you what, he won't listen. Go on, mate.
Paul says ASM was left side in the box, had players to pass on the edge, could have crossed, done a few step overs, got tackled, fell to his knee, sums his game up absolutely. Clinton says West Ham created nothing at all, so we can't break our players because they tried. But when we don't win, we're still the only team with one loss on the log. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Turn up one game a season isn't good enough, says Paul. No room for passengers now. It's all about teamwork. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, mate.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Niall says, big ups, lads. What about Arsenal losing and Man U winning? Poor result for the 2 and 2 points dropped. Again, yeah, it's 2 points dropped. But we got what we deserved, and that was a draw, unfortunately. And, it was a fair result at the end of the day in my eyes. I'll get Pete in a minute anyway and find out what Pete's got to say because he was at the match. Clinton says, if you don't shoot, you won't score. That's our problem. Too many sideway passes on the edge of the box taking the shot. I mean, Anthony Gordon had a shot and he was unlucky, got blocked by the defence. I agree with Sky. Aguerd, their man of the match, by email because he was the best player on the pitch for them. Darren, hi Darren, hope you're well, mate. He says, right boy, today wake up call for everybody who thought we finished in the top 4. No way are we good enough. Top 8 at best, he says. Again, saying what I'm saying, maybe 7th, and then it's a fair comment, Darren, and you're absolutely spot on, mate. Evening John says, Ian.
Big up, Ian.
Paul says, works both ways. Praise them when they play well, criticise them when they don't. Can't just keep saying, remember this, fake in that game when he's done well. Now how it works, not how it works. Absolutely well said, mate. And that was what John said. Alex won't like it. Yeah, but you got to be honest with your opinions as well. You can't just gloss over something or wax lyrical over somebody who's not doing the job in the business. Christopher says, I think Maxi will leave if we can get someone like Diaby in the summer. We need more creativity and assists on the wings. Yet we do. Ian says hello to Peter.
Ian.
Paul says, we simply need someone on the wing who has a bit about them. Doesn't have to be flair, just a winger who's consistent of what they do. Assists and goals. Madison isn't full of skills, but manages it. Yeah, again, Madison is... I think we'll go back in for him in the summer. I'm pretty sure on that one. But we'll have to wait in the summer now. Sean Stevenson, hello to you, mate. He says, why not try shooting from around the box? Teams sitting deep. We try and pass through them. We run out of ideas. Yeah, again, I see what you mean by that, Sean. That's the thing. You're trying to thread the eye of a needle, and sometimes it's hard with these teams who sit deep on the box. And yeah, I totally agree with you, mate. Paul said, I thought Rice was annoyingly good today. He was everywhere breaking us down. Yeah. Do you know what? I would take Declan Rice at the drop of a hat in our team. But Be a lot of others in for him. Liverpool and Chelsea won't catch us, says Paul. Probably not, no. Tangi says, I'm going to say this again. Why don't we try long range shots, but instead we try to walk the ball in the net? Again, yeah, definitely. We have no one that can hit a cracker from outside the box. Yeah. Darren saying, no, not about football. If we can't just buy another forward, we need a midfielder for Defo, but Tony Alright anywhere in the top 8 for me. Yeah,
Is
thanks very much.
that aimed at us there, Dan? Is that aimed to start doing that about football?
I don't know. It might be people in the chat, maybe.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Because obviously, seeing about Diaby, things like that. Tangi says, we don't, because we don't attempt long range shots. So that's why we don't get the shots in. Right, Pete. Good evening to you. I'll see you at the game today. I mean, obviously West Ham must have won the toss and decided that we were going to shoot towards the Gallagher end. In the first half, I mean, sum up your thoughts on today's game.
Thought we started the game off very well. I thought Shane Willock's goal was cancelled out because the ball was over the line, and we did finally get that goal through Callum Wilson. Great to see him end his goal drought because it's been a long time, and he does love scoring against West Ham as well. But I thought we did allow West Ham back into the game afterwards as well. So, and then they got the equaliser, and I just thought from there it was just very sluggish, lackluster. I thought as well. ASM, you're right. It wasn't great from him today. It really, really wasn't, unfortunately. Gordon looked bright when he came on. He comes in against Bournemouth for me. You could tell he was making things happen, I thought. Particularly that pass he played through to find Wilson, but it was just great defending. Yeah. Draw. Fair result at the end. And I heard Joe Litton's dive was what you heard was probably dive of the season. I mean, great. He thought he did well, but please don't do that. You've got 8 yellow cards now. You're only 2 away from 10. And we certainly do not want that before a cup final. Absolutely no way.
No, and I'm sure Eddie Howe will have had a word with him by now and said, look, don't do that again. There was no need for it. I mean, I thought the referee was very inconsistent at times because Ben Roma dived in the first half. Why didn't he get a yellow card? Yes, it wasn't in the penalty area, but it's still, he was diving for a free kick. So why didn't he get a yellow card? I thought they were supposed to be clamping down on simulation, that if you dive and it looks a dive, you're going to get a booking for it. Obviously, it's not consistent enough. But you're right what you say, Pete. Draw is a fair result. And, I mean, in your eyes, Pete, if Isak had been playing today, say he'd come on as a sub, do you think that through ball from Anthony Gordon? To be fair, I think with Wilson, maybe he has lost a bit of pace because, obviously he's had it before us. Obviously, he's had 2 ACLs in the past and he's had other injuries. But if that was Isak, does Aguerd catch Isak? I don't think he does, Pete.
No. Isak has got pace on him. He's still a very young lad as well. Yep, I think if Isak came on, I think he would have got that. And would have had a great opportunity to score. That's why we really missed him the day. Kind of missed Bruno in a way as well. But I thought, as I mentioned, Joe Linton played well. I thought Longstaff did very well again for me as well. Willock on and off at times. I thought Miggy tried, he huffed and puffed. That was the thing. The defense did well. But yeah, just not enough quality the day.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I thought the defending was poor for their equaliser as well, Pete. Like I said to John,
got to do better than that.
I mean, Almiron follows Ben Rama, so you leave that huge gap at the near post. What somebody should have said was to Joe Linton, move forward a couple of steps, and he steps into that zone. They don't get that goal. They don't get that equaliser.
Mm-hmm.
And even Eddie Howe said after the game, He said, I was disappointed with the way we conceded the goal. He says, that is not our usual high standards.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Howe looked very, very, very annoyed at the end of that game. He didn't look a happy man at all walking across that pitch. So, the players will be in for training, possibly Monday morning. And I'm sure Eddie will have them sorted out, ready for Bournemouth. And, And like Paul said, yeah, exactly, Paul. It was similar to what the goal was that Kane scored against us at the back post in our 2-1 win over Spurs at White Hart Lane. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you that one. I'll just get into some more comments. And then, well, guys, if you like what you see, please smash the likes. It does help the channel up the search results. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. It helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So thanks very much indeed, guys. I'm 3 away from 350. So yeah, I'll get into some more comments. Find where I was. Yeah, that was Tangi. I did read that one. Sorry, Tangi. Paul says we have no one who can hit a cracker from outside the box. Well, Bruno's hit a few from outside the box, and being near, but yeah, again, it is what it is. Tangi says, because we don't attempt long range shots. Yeah, maybe. Paul says we do need a striker as we only have Wilson and Isak. Yeah, we do. We need another striker.
Badly.
You've got to have your strength and depth. All positions need strength and depth. Tangi says on ESM, there is no I or me in a team. He infuriates me. Get rid. He will never get in the French team or a Ballon d'Or. Patrick Vieira has the right opinion on ESM. Yeah, because that was one thing Patrick Vieira said when we signed him about his final third play and about his finishing as well. Paul says, well, similar. Yeah, we read that one. Sorry, Paul. Foxy says, Wilson had a good game today. 2 shots on target, 1 goal, good ratio. Yeah, Wilson looked sharp today. And I was pretty happy with that. Paul says, hell of a tackle to stop Wilson getting a second leg. Thought he could have shot earlier, though, as the defender was making ground on him fast. Yeah, maybe he could have. But again, it's just one of those. You're caught in 2 minds at that time, aren't you? And it's a split-second decision. What you're going to do? Are you going to shoot or are you just going to carry on? But yeah. Hang on. Foxy says, also, the run from Wilson to get back on side was top level. It was just top-class defending. If he mistimed a tackle, it's a pen. Yeah, absolutely. And Tangi says, Burn 6'7" decided to duck. What was all that about for West Ham goal? Yeah.
Yes, I was going to come on to that as well. He did duck, which was very unlike Dan Burn. I mean, that is a part of the blame for that as well. I mean, Joe was in front of him anyway. The goes over him. Dan Burn decides to duck down, right? And then it went all the way to Paquetá, and it went. Poor defending that.
I mean, Pete, what was your thoughts on Anthony Gordon's cameo when he came on?
He looked sharp. He looked well up for it. He was trying to create things, I thought. In particular, he had pace on him. He looks quick, definitely, as well. And it looks like this could well be a very good player for us as well, definitely. Well, I would look him to start on Saturday. I think he needs to. ASM just wasn't at it for me, and there was the right move to take him off. Gordon was putting himself about on the pitch as well. He was creating things, as I mentioned, that pass through for Wilson as well. Looks very sharp, Anthony Gordon.
He did. Pete, just a question on ASM. Do you think he's done at Newcastle? Would you have got rid of him in January, or would you get rid of him in the summer, or do you think he's done?
I mean, if a bid comes for him in the summer, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be disappointed if he left.
Fair enough.
Yeah. After today's show, and I mean, it was his opportunity because I was thinking, right, okay, if he gets in now, this is his opportunity now to grab that shirt and say, right, I'm keeping this shirt. I'm in the side now. Nobody's taking this off my back. And that's what I wanted to see from him. That's what I was disappointed about, Pete, because I didn't see that coming from him.
I didn't see
I
him as
was
well.
looking for it. I was thinking, come on, let's see this cross that you can put in the box. Let's see what you can do on the edge of the box. Let's see you get back in track. And I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any urgency from him whatsoever. And we're back to the fancy footwork. And it's like, but no, this isn't the place for fancy footwork. Just get the ball in the box, put it in there, and you get it either on somebody's head or across the floor, just to get the defender to maybe knock it out for a corner, or it goes straight to Wilson and he puts it in the back. But I just didn't see nothing in that, and I was so frustrated because I was like, well, come on, I just want to see it. And to be honest, I think if you took him off at half time and put Anthony Gordon on from the start of the second half, I wouldn't have been disappointed, Pete.
Neither would I as well. I just thought it's a matter of time before he's going to come on, and he did come on with quite a lot of time, so as well. And yeah, I thought Gordon. I was impressed with Gordon when he came on.
Yeah, I mean, Paul says in the first half, I think it was Willock who got on goal. If he didn't jump over the keeper, I reckon the ref would have gave a penalty. But nice to see fair play though, unlike the big Joe dive.
Tell you what, though, I mean, that was a ridiculous yellow card. That he had to go in for that. You cannot. But Ben Rama should have got books as well for the dive as well. But let's be real, right? I mean, that's 8 books of the season. If he gets booked against Bournemouth, would you play him against Liverpool? Because you cannot afford to lose him against Man United.
Well, you just don't want him getting booked in the next 2 games, do you? But again, I'm sure Eddie Howe will speak to him and say, look, you can't do that. You can't do that. Simple as. Foxy says, really not surprised we drew. We have an unrealistic expectation lately. Clearly overachieving with the squad we have. A lot taken out the players physically and mentally from the semi-final. Yeah, exactly, Foxy. That's what I thought as well. I saw that from... You look at the exploits on Tuesday and you could see they were drained still from that game on Tuesday. And some of the players are still on a high, the fact that we're going to Wembley. But hopefully by next week, we've got a week's rest now. We'll rectify that and we'll be fit for Bournemouth, which, by the way, I think is an absolute ridiculous time to kick off a game at 5:30 on a Saturday evening. You know, such a long journey for those fans to go all the way down to Bournemouth. You know, Sky, these broadcasters really don't think about the football fans at the end of the day. They really don't. And it's all about money and TVs, revenue. And I just think it's absolutely disgusting. But thankfully, it's on a Saturday. So any fans who are going down maybe on trains or whatever, at least if they're staying overnight, they don't have to worry about, coming straight back. They can have their night in the hotel and come back the next day. But still, I just think it's ridiculous. 5:30 kick-off for a game that's so far down the other end of the country on the south coast. Foxy says it's natural for the levels to drop, especially with key players missing. Yeah, definitely, Foxy. You could see Bruno wanted to be... but yeah, to be honest with you, I can see... what was I saying there? Sorry. I forgot what I was saying there now. But yeah, like I say, the 5:30 kick-offs are just ridiculous for fans travelling down there. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And let's hope we just put it right next week. But again, next week will be a tough game down at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth are fighting for their lives. They want to stay in the Premier League. They've spent some money in the transfer market. So again, it's going to be a tough game. So we just wait and see what happens in that game. So Paul says, Foxy, I have to disagree. I don't think we've overachieved. We earned every single point we had and the players have emptied their tanks in every game. We deserve to be where we are, in my opinion. Yeah, that's fair enough. But I think Tuesday took a lot out on the players, if I'm honest, because Southampton made that game difficult for us as well. Again, they've played well, and even their position looks like they shouldn't be where they are. They look in a false position. just shows you there's no easy games in the Premier League. Liverpool went down to Wolves today and got walloped 3-0. Who saw that coming? Who saw Wolves beating Liverpool 3-0? Nobody saw that coming.
I think I went for a draw, but do you know what? I thought as well it would surprise me if Liverpool were to get beat because of how poor they are as well at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
But 3-0, wow. Klopp's had his teeth bitten off by the Wolves.
And I'll tell you what, don't sack him yet though. Sack him when we play against us. But then again, if we play like we did then I just don't think we'd be beating Liverpool as well. But we got it because they're all beating them now.
Yeah. I mean, even Darren's saying next week's game will be a hard game. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, not easy going down the Vitality. We've been down there before and we found it difficult.
Well, I think we are unbeaten down there, though.
Yeah.
But we've had a few draws there.
Yeah, because it's a very small ground, isn't it? It only holds about 10,000, doesn't it, or something like that?
It's not big, I know that.
It's not a huge ground, is it? That's for sure. Phil McCracken, good evening to you. He says, oh.
Hey!
Oh, yeah, I just realised what it was. Well, actually, I didn't say. Well, anyway, he goes on to say, not getting beat, but I'm a tad worried of all of a sudden seeing nervous. Don't be nervous, Phil. You know, it is what it is. It's a fair result at the end of the day. Tanji says, it happened with the cup finals we had back in the day. Players don't want to push it too hard through fear of injury or suspension, but our tempo has definitely dropped. It has dropped in the last few weeks, but maybe that's just because of the games we play, the way we play our game with the press and intensity. Don't forget we had that break for the World Cup. So players are just, they come back from the World Cup and we had to restart again. And it's like you're into the first couple of months of a new season again, aren't you? That's what it's like. But he says, if ESM is thinking of his own chances of a cup final start, he needs to play now, not whenever he decides. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if ESM wants to be in the cup final, he's got no chance if he plays like that. That's for sure. There's no way Eddie Howe will have him in the team. He says, Phil says, we're there on merit. The league doesn't lie. No such thing as overachieving. That's a Muppets mindset. That's fair enough. That's your opinion. Paul says, let's hope Liverpool are still in poor form by the time we play them. Got unfinished business. Do you know what? Yeah, we have got unfinished business with Liverpool. And as long as Klopp doesn't get the chop before then, then hopefully we get a result against Liverpool, because I think he must be on borrowed time now. He must be. He's certainly not on Klopp time no more, that's for sure now. He must be on the owner's time. But, I'd be surprised if it sacked him, but I wouldn't be surprised in some ways because Liverpool have been very poor. But then again, why I put down Liverpool being poor? Because their midfield has got too many old players in there. And that is the problem. And they lost Sadio Mane. I know one player doesn't make a team, but Sadio Mane made a big difference, that Liverpool team. Foxy says, no doubt. He says, no doubt we deserve to be where we are, but that wasn't the point in terms of money spent and poor squad depth. It's almost a miracle for us to be top four, cup final and one Prem loss all season, special season. Yeah, again, Foxy, it is. It is brilliant that we've only lost one game all season. We've done really well, but let's see where we finish. I mean, I wouldn't. If we win the Carabao Cup and finish 7th place, like I say, I wouldn't be disappointed. That would be a fantastic season in my eyes. And you think, gosh, you've got Europa League football as well, Europa Conference League football finishing 7th. So, like I say, that wouldn't be a bad option. So, yeah, it's absolutely special. And Tanji says, when the cup final's over, watch our league performances improve again. Yeah, they could well do, because they could do, because the pressure of the cup's not there no more, is it? But I think now's the time for the players to sit back and realise, right, okay. But I think the time's come that the players have to look at this now and say, right, let's forget about the cup final and let's concentrate on the next 2 Premier League games and see where we are after those 2 games.
Exactly.
Phil says, "Lol, go on, Peter, lad."
How did you fall for that, Tony?
I don't know. Paul says, "Tony, you've said it now, man. Just imagine new manager hype, just how I look." Well, if they get rid of Klopp, they can always hire Bruce.
Always.
No, didn't say it.
No, I'm not going to say it. He's a dentist. Tanji says, "Liverpool play Everton a week on Monday." Yeah, that's a huge game, that is, isn't it? I mean,
massive.
If hey, can you imagine if Everton beat Liverpool? That could be the end of Klopp.
Could well be.
That could be the end of Klopp if they get beat off Everton.
I don't think he's going anywhere, Tony. I think he'll be there next season.
Who, Klopp?
I think he'll be there next season. He made it clear he said he wants to rebuild because he knows the mistake that you can't do now. I think he's going to rebuild in the summer.
Didn't he sign a new contract recently as well?
Yeah, he did, actually. I think it was this season as well.
Going to cost him, isn't it?
Exactly. He's out of contract until 2026.
Phil says he's a plasterer. But, I mean, like I say, so he's a plasterer. But like I say, guys, if you like what you see, please smash the likes. It really does help the channel at the search results. And if you're new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well, guys. Comment in here. See your team won again, John. Good news, our Casemiro suspended, says Mason.
Fortunately, he's not suspended for the Carabao Cup, though, unfortunately.
No, he's got to miss the 2 Leeds game and he's missing the Leicester game.
Ian says, good evening to you, Ian. He says, hope this driving stuff is bullshit from the Sun regarding Gordon. He was awesome. I mean, Ian, I said this earlier on my warm-up show. I said, look, don't believe what you read in the Sun. I mean, it's not the paper I'd wipe my arse on because I'd have more shit on my arse than there would be on the paper. They talk a lot of verbal diarrhea in that paper. I'd rather read the Beano than read the Sun, to be fair. So I think, I mean, we don't know when this has happened. I mean, apparently on Monday, he got a lift off a Newcastle fan back over to Newcastle, so from the Metro Centre, from what I saw. So like I say, don't believe everything that paper puts in there. You know, next they'll be seeing King Charles will be off to the moon, you know, but and people will buy it just to say, oh, look, Charles is off to the moon. So don't believe everything you read in that paper, because it does talk a load of crap, verbal diarrhea, in fact. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe. Hey?
May as well be called a shit, because it talks shit.
Oh, they do, don't they? It's a horrendous paper. And Tanji says, could be that Klopp wants a sack for a payoff. Who knows? But you know what he could well do? Yeah.
Well do.
And Phil says, another channel said that Gordon only parked the car for his lass on private land, so no law broken. Well, if it's on private land, he's done it, then yeah, you can't be done for it because it's private land. You know, because can't do nothing about it. It's like now you've mentioned something like that. When my driving instructor from Durham, when I passed my test, well, before I passed my test, but when he was teaching me, he says the village he lives in, he says he come out the pub and obviously had a few drinks, and he said, as he come out the pub, obviously he wasn't going to drive home anyway. He says he literally only lives like 10 minutes walk away. And he said there was a cop car sitting outside the pub, but on the main road. And he says he saw the cop back getting animated because he saw him go to the car, but he was only going to get his jacket out because it was a cold night and put his jacket on. And he said the copper looked disappointed when he shut the door and locked it and walked away. He was like, well, hang on. And then he looked at the copper, and as he walked past, he just said to the copper, he says, I know what you're doing. He says, I'm a driving instructor. He says, you're waiting for people coming out that pub to drive out and you're going to nick them because you can't nick them on the car park because it's private property. So that's the same thing with Anthony Gordon. If he has drove it on private property, can't be nicked for it, can he? Because it's not on a public road.
Not really, no.
So, but at the end of the day, we don't know how true it is or what. At the end of the day, the club haven't come out and said anything. So, unlike the Joe Linton that was everywhere all over the news, this isn't all over the news. It's in one particular paper, the paper that talks a lot of verbal diarrhea, and just don't buy that rubbish or read that rubbish because, like I say, next they'll be putting in there that Frank Lampard will win the Champions League with Hull City. But people buy just to believe it because they think, oh, Hull City will win the Champions League. No, it's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, in terms of players today, I mean, who stood out for you today, man, the match wise, John?
Andy Gordon, no doubt about it. He's trying to make things happen, and for me personally, I thought I was waiting to see someone players on the pitch could make us change the game. I didn't see that until Anthony came on the pitch, and he was absolutely outstanding. You could see that 15 touches in 20 minutes, right? You know, that pass to Wilson was absolutely outstanding, right? And it's just a shame all the other players today just didn't keep up as well. But I thought Trippier did right, but I thought today, good to see Wilson back sharp as well for that goal. I mean, like Pete said earlier, Willock was hitting Missy. I thought Van Botman, I mean, gave the ball away once or twice for me. I'm not going to lie, Fabian Schär was okay. And Sean Longstaff did a lovely football as well. And Joe Linton tried his best, but, trying to win the penalty didn't work out, got booked. But hey ho. But for me, it's only one guy. It's Anthony Gordon.
For you, Peter, was your man the match?
Oh, as I mentioned, I thought Joe Linton played well except the dive. I thought Longstaff had another very good game for me. I thought he
think
put
he had a
himself
good
up.
game.
I did. I think he assisted for Wilson as well. Oh, it's a tough one, actually. Do you know what? I'll probably say I'm going to go with John Anthony Gordon as well. He looks sharp and he's up for it.
Exactly.
So you're going Anthony Gordon as well, are you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he did look sharp. I mean, he had a great cameo when he come on, and that reverse pass for Wilson was sublime, like I say. Yeah, he had a great game, and you and John have both gone for Anthony Gordon. I mean, there was a few players had great games out there today. I mean, Callum Wilson getting on the score sheet was nice seeing him get a goal because I've been banging on for him to get a goal. And he's got one eventually, so brilliant. He took it well. But my man of the match today, without a doubt, is this guy, Sean Longstaff. All day for me. I thought he'd done terrific in the midfield. He tried to get everything going. He, the pass to Wilson was sublime. It was brilliant. He tried to make us tick in midfield. Everything he tried to do. He was all over the place. He was like an action man. So for me, Sean Longstaff all day man the match, in my opinion, for Newcastle. But overall in the game, I think you've got to give it to the West Ham defender, Aguerd. So I thought he was terrific. Just going to some comments. Tanji says, Longstaff was my man in the match. The assist was awesome. Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. Foxy says, Mickey missed Bruno a lot today. The amount of quality runs he made didn't get the return pass. Disappointing. He was clear, though, through. If Willock got the return pass to him, yeah, he would have been, wouldn't he? Tanji says, yeah, Foxy, nobody could do the Bruno pass for the Miggy running behind. Foxy says Wilson for his overall performance, but Longstaff also for the assist. So he's given a joint man of the match to two players there as well. I mean, I'm going to come to you guys for your opinions on this. I mean, I'll start the debate off and then I'll come to you first. So Pete, yesterday, this come out that we were linked with a move in the summer for Jude Bellingham. Now, when I first saw this, I thought somebody was having a laugh, and I had to check to make sure it wasn't April Fool's Day. But it's been reported by Bild in Germany that we are apparently showing an interest in him. The Chronicle have reported it. Now, I look at this and I think, okay, Jude Bellingham, 19. Yes, he's a fantastic player. He's got the world at his feet. He's got a long way to go before he even hits his peak. Now, if he did sign, and I'll just say if he signed for us, that would be one hell of a statement signing in my eyes. That would really make the Premier League stand up and take notice and think, wow, hang on a minute. Yeah, they've got Bellingham. How are they getting him? Now, you've got Liverpool in for him. You've got Man City in for him. You've got Real Madrid in for him. Now, would he go to Real Madrid? Maybe. But then he might go there and be a starter for a few weeks. Then he might be a bench player. So he might his career may go downhill at Real Madrid. No disrespect to Real Madrid, because that's what they do with some of these stars. They put them on the benches for ages. So I think if he was to go to the Premier League, I think Man City's his most likely destination. Why would you want to go to Liverpool, where they are at the minute? Yes, they might do better this season, but I personally think he'd either be Man City bound or Real Madrid bound. Even he could even be Paris Saint-Germain bound. Who knows? I mean, they might come in with a bid. So I'll come to you, Pete. I mean, what was your thoughts on the link to Jude Bellingham?
Oh, I mean, I was thinking, God, yeah, exactly the same, Tony. Is it April Fool's Day? But the fact is, we're going to be linked with a lot of names now. That's what it's like now. That's the thing. So it'll not just be him. There'll be other names that'll be coming up as well who will be linked with as well. So, but, he would be a hell of a signing if he signed for us.
Yeah. John, your thoughts on that?
For me personally, I think it'd be a statement signing. It would be a sign of intent for me. If you can get this guy, what a player, 19 years old. Yeah, it all depends if you get a Champions League or not. But for me, I think if I was a betting guy, I'll go Real Madrid. I don't think he'll come to Newcastle yet. I think he'll go to Madrid.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, John. John says, do you think teams are working out the team and getting the better of us? They are. They know how we play, especially the teams that are playing us second time round. Remember, this is West Ham's first game of the season against us. But teams are working us out because they know how we play. Leeds United done that to us. So, yeah, teams do know how we're playing, and we've now got to be a bit more cute now on what we're doing, and we just got to show that we can play around that. But we just, like I say, we just need to be that little bit more cute. And if we do things a little bit differently, just to catch the opposition out, then I think we'll be all right. But I think I think teams know we're too predictable, and that's the reason. But when you play against top sides, like say your Arsenals and Man Cities, at least you know you're going to be playing football because they're going to come out and play as well. Unlike some of the teams near the bottom who are going to park the bus to get a desperate vital point that might help them in their survival status. So, yeah, that's the answer to that one. What do you guys think? Pete?
Oh. It's a tough one, that one, in a way, isn't it? I mean, you don't want to think that, considering the amount of teams we've brushed aside. I mean, it could have just been one of those games we had the day, unfortunately.
Yeah. John, what about you?
It's getting that way, isn't it? Because you haven't changed the 4-3-3 system at all. I mean, you got to play what you're comfortable with. I mean, Bruno's confident in the 4-3-3, but excuse me. I think some teams have worked us out, but it's at the same time, it's not to us to come up with the answers. And today we didn't really. But seeing that, I think we just got to carry on where we are at the minute. If we're comfortable playing 4-3-3, let's do it. But the one thing I'm going to say about Miggy Almiron, right, I do love him, by the way, but we all know that he's left-footed. He has got a right foot. So they worked him out for a start. ASM, today, they worked him out as well, West Ham. Do you know what I mean? But for me, if you change it slightly, then take some long shootings. Go for the long shots as well, by the way, would be fine, you know. But saying that, Tony, yeah I have to agree.
Foxy says, I'll be amazed if Bellingham's next move isn't Real Madrid. Yeah, absolutely. Tanji says, I'm exhausted from transfer speculation window. It's closed now. But all the talk is just to fill up the columns and newspapers. Mm-hmm. You're probably right, Tanji. That's the thing. And yeah. And Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Hope you're well. How's your career going, mate? I hope it's going well. He says, if I was Bellingham, I'd continue to play for a club abroad. Yeah, I don't think Premier League. I think he might come back to the Premier League, but I'll come to the Premier League. He's now played in the Premier League. But I think the Madrid move, I think if that came about, I think he'd go anyway because he could be a star for Madrid. That's the thing, though. He could be a big star there, and you know who knows. Foxy talking to Ryan, and Phil says need to be in the Champions League to get Bellingham. Yeah, absolutely. All good guy says all good to Foxy, and Ryan says, Do you guys think we made a mistake not replacing Shelby? Our midfielders are J7, Bruno, Longstaff, Willick. It's not good enough for us. Not enough for us.
I'll have to agree with him, Tony. I do. I've always said that the moment we got rid of Shelby, we should have got a midfielder lined up. They had the time to do it, but they chose not to. Do you know what I mean? Should have got a midfielder in. I would have just paid the money for James Maddison and get this guy in. Should have paid the money. Get it over and done with. Happy days.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. I mean, you know, not replacing Chelsea, we should have done that. I know we did sort of go for the Sander Berge, but then ourselves and Fulham pulled out of the deal, so something's not right there. We tried with a £35 million bid for Conor Gallagher, but Chelsea said they won't sell to a rival, which I find rather strange. When Jorginho went to Arsenal, aren't they a rival then?
Very true.
So I think for Chelsea to come out with that, it's a bit of a dumb statement, to be fair. Exactly. But yeah, definitely, Ryan, we should have had another midfielder in, even if we got somebody on loan from abroad or whatever. But yeah, did we leave our shopping too late in the window? Personally, I do. I think we left things far too late in the window to do stuff. And you know, we tried to get Jack Harrison on deadline day as well, and that didn't happen. And so, yeah. I mean, Pete, what's your thoughts on Ryan's comment about not replacing Shelby?
We kind of did in a way, didn't we? I mean, it has left us a little bit light in a way, hasn't it? Considering that Bruno's suspended, so...
I mean, I'm going to ask you the question.
We tried to get someone in, though.
Mm-hmm.
But they just said no.
I'm going to ask you a question, Pete. I've asked John this question, and this question sort of split a few opinions, and some people are like, oh, no, he's crap. Why would you have him? Right, so Pete, this guy's out of contract, so he's on a free. He can sign any time he wants for any club, anywhere in the world. He's a very decorated player with trophies. He's 30 now. But I would say bring him in till the end of the season, just so you've got an extra midfielder in the squad. What about Isco?
Yes, I would. Well, we were discussing that the other day, weren't we?
Yeah.
And yes, I would.
I mean, Isco would be fantastic to come in, wouldn't he? And I mean, it's a, you know, just even if it's on a pay-as-you-play deal, it's a no-brainer till the end of the season. But whether we come to us or not, I don't know. Whether we going in for him, I don't know. That's the thing. But yeah, I would definitely have Isco without a shadow of a doubt, and he'd just be that extra little bit of quality you want in midfield.
Absolutely.
Christopher says, yes, Ryan, we need midfield cover. I've been seeing it since the window closed. Paul says, I'd have Isco. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's quality. I mean, Everton thought they were getting Andre Ayew because he's on a free, but he's gone to Forest now. Everton are looking at Isco as well, but I don't think he'll go to Everton.
No, I don't think he's a Sean Dyche player. To be fair,
no. Tanji says Isco's a bench player, maybe at Newcastle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tanji, he could be a bench player, but again, he's got that quality. You could just bring him on and say, right, go and do your worst. But yeah, Isco, I would have him. Plus, till the end of the season, it's a low risk. You're not signing them on a 3-year contract or anything like that. It's just till the end of the season, and I think that would be fine. Christopher says, God knows what wages Isco's on. Again, he'd probably have to drop his wage demands to play. If he wants to play football, he's going to have to drop his demands, wouldn't he? I mean, it's not to say we are in for him. It was just a hypothetical question. Would you take him as he's one of them midfielders that's on a free transfer? Phil says, do you think Isco will go to Dan Burns' disco?
Isco.
I like that, mate. That's brilliant.
Oh, it's class, man.
Ryan says, that bench was a bit worrying today. No striker, no midfielder, 5 wingers at the same time, though. 3 windows isn't enough to make up 14 years of craft from Mike Ashley. No, it isn't, Ryan. You're totally right, mate. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, because of Isak being missing, that made a difference. Because we didn't have that striker on the bench. But it is. I mean, Ryan Fraser was due to go to Hull, wasn't he? That was pulled out the last minute, apparently. So, because we couldn't afford to lose him either. Foxy says, Isco slows us down even more, though. There's a reason Sevilla released him, a reason his move to Union Berlin collapsed on a huge wages and a clear backup. You run the other way. Ah, right, okay then. Maybe not then. Foxy says, Isco star back in the day at Malaga and early in Madrid years. Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. But yeah, guys, if you like what you see, then please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results. So do smash those likes. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And also bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So thank you very much indeed, guys. Another comment's coming. Tanji says, I don't rate Isco, but for squad depth only. Yeah, again, it's squad depth, isn't it? But yeah. I mean, going on to... before I go on to the next subject, actually, I'm going to ask you to. I mean, Pete, have you put in... what ballot number are you in for the tickets for Wembley?
I am in period 3.
Ooh.
Have you heard anything yet or not?
I can hopefully that will be from Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that's when I can hopefully get my tickets for then if they've not gone. So I can look to get mine from Wednesday if they're still there.
Is there not a limit on how many people can buy, is there not?
It must depend on the period you're in.
Yeah.
It says you can buy for other people, but they've got to be in the same period as what you are. So if you try to buy someone, see if you win 3, but you try to buy someone who was in like 4 or 5, they would say, no, can't do it that way.
Yeah, true. Because some people have been putting out, they've got their tickets up. Well, they've got their acceptance, haven't they, for that ballot. But, I mean, John, what period are you in?
I'm in 4, so that means I would have been to 2 Carabao Cup games, and I don't do mine until Thursday. But I think I could have a problem because, first of all, how many season ticket holders are there officially? Right, I've been getting 32s and 33s, right? Exactly, right? I could have a problem because mine's could be a 50-50. I've got a sneaking feeling, guys, I'm not going to make it. Do you think, Pete, top 4? I don't know if I'm going to make it. It
could happen. You just never know, John.
So is that what's the official season tickets total? Is it 32,000? Is it more than
around about the 30,000, I think.
Very interesting, and also as well, by the way, just on that, I mean, you can get these packages as well. Don't it's £1,800 for a ticket.
£800.
1,800 quid hospitality packages as well, and that is Carabao Cup finals through Wembley State actually called CF Unique. That's the sponsor, but you can get from Club Wembley. Club Wembley, 1,800 quid. But you get some of the benefits of it as well. So you get a good seat for that. 1,800 quid. You can get 3 year season ticket at Newcastle for that, you know.
What dirty go?
They're expensive, aren't they, at Wembley? I mean, I remember going down there 5 years ago, nearly 6 years ago now. 2017 it was, in the September. England played Slovakia in the World Cup qualifier. And obviously Dubravka was before he came to Newcastle, actually. And because it was funny, when I was watching that game, I thought, I wouldn't mind him at Newcastle. He did end up in Newcastle, but yeah. Back then, I think just for a small bottle of Coke, it was like £4 for a bottle. It's expensive.
Crazy, isn't it?
But you can't take stuff in. You can't take food or drink in because they search you. Because they want you buying it in the stadium.
So you don't lose money, I guess.
Yeah. It's like when I went down the Emirates in 2012 and I stood and I went to get a pint and the guy picked up the pint off the side. I went, I don't want that, mate. And he went, what? So I don't want that. He says, well, it's just been poured. I says, no, it hasn't. So I've been stood in the queue for 10 minutes. I says, and I've been clocking you. I says, and all you've done is you filled about 20 glasses up and you've stuck them down there so they're ready just to hand straight out rather than pouring them freshly. Well, yeah, but I says, but I don't want that. I says, it could be flat. I said, I want a fresh one poured. Well, I can't do that. You have to take that. I says, well, no, I'm not. I says, well, you're not getting my money then. I says, I want a fresh one poured. I says, where's your manager? Well, I'll go and ask him. He come over and he says, what's the problem? I says, well, I want a freshly poured pint. I says, I'm not having the one that's been sat on the side for 10 minutes. I says, don't want it. I says, I want a freshly poured one. Yeah, but we don't normally do. I says, I don't care what you don't normally do. I says, I'm a paying customer. I says, you know what? You want to charge me whatever it is for a pint of beer. I says, and I want a fresh one. I want one that's fizzy coming out of the draft. And he turned around to the guy and he said, do you know what? He says, rather than having this argument, he says, just pour him one out. He says, because some people are just a bit ignorant, aren't they? And I thought, you cheeky git.
Wow.
And it cost me $5.50, I think it was, for a pint.
That's crazy, man. Crazy.
Absolutely disgusting.
The
But I got what I wanted, though, John. I got what I wanted, John and Peter. I made sure they poured me one.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, you're a paying customer. Customer's always right. Simple as that.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Mark says, I'd rather have Cisco. Oh, no, thank you. No.
No.
Jesus Christ. He was a disaster.
Disaster.
Paul says, they fill the pints up with spilled drink from the spill trays. Do you know what? That doesn't surprise me, Paul. That really doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But, yeah, Wembley's expensive, though. So if you're going to go to Wembley, your best bet is to have something to eat, have a meal somewhere before you go in.
Agreed.
Where if I've got to Wembley, what I normally do is I normally go down to Baker Street and I'll go in the Metropole, which is Wetherspoons on Baker Street.
Oh,
So
Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
Well, yeah, it's cheaper. Because if you go onto Baker Street, get off the tube there, and as you come up the tube, you'll see it's not far up the road. It's near the Sherlock Holmes statue, and but it's on the court. It's called the Metropole. It's not a bad place, actually, in there. Just as long as you can get in there and get a seat and get something to eat. But Wetherspoons, nothing wrong with that, Pete, not at all. But at least it's cheaper than getting something to eat in the stadium, and you can have a drink as well there. So it's only a couple of quid for a pint in it in Wetherspoons. Foxy says in South America they bring food and drink to your seat. Wow.
Do you know what it is, right? If you go abroad, the customer service abroad is absolutely fantastic. I'll go to Italy, as you know, and the customer are just so first class. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're busy, but at the end of the day, they do their stuff. They put a smile on your face, and happy days. But back home, right? I mean, you get people 16, 17 working in there, right? They haven't been taught customer service, right? And they never ever say enjoy your meal. They just don't do it here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Tanji says, I would have made him pull that pint, then walked away and said, "Oh, to him, don't call me ignorant." Yeah, but I was thirsty, Tanji. I needed a drink. And it was me only like one pint I could have, because obviously I had to then, when the match was over, I go back up, I'll go back, get off the train, and then have me 5-hour car journey home. So I was only allowed that one pint. So I was staying well within the law. Phil says, there could be hocker in those pints. I agree with what you said, Tony.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't know, do you? Somebody could have picked their nose and flicked it.
or they could have took it in the corner and took it in the loo and went. "Tss." Oh,
You don't know, do you?
you just don't know.
But yeah, somebody could have stuck a urine sample in there.
Oh,
Hey, you don't know what's in them paints, but you get floaters in them, so
oh.
that's why, like I say, I made sure I got mine poured out. The
Absolutely.
only ground where I've seen them pre-do it, I don't know if there's any other grounds do that, but it's the only one I did say. I mean, I've been Wigan a few times, the DW, especially on like a Boxing Day, and they pour them out straight away from the draft. But yeah, strange one at Arsenal. But then it's North London for you. Phil sees those pints on Mackham's tears.
Oh man.
Do you know what? Right, I mean, Middlesbrough are doing well under Michael Carrick. Right. Question for you and John Pete, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll come to John first. Right. If Sunderland get promoted this year, John, right? How will they do in the Premier League next year? Be honest, John.
Personally, I think it comes straight back, dude. And I'm not gonna lie, because it all depends how much they're willing to be spending, right? And secondly, are those players good enough for the Premier League? That's another thing. And at the minute, they've been they're in touching distance in the playoffs, man. And I think they'll be straight back doing again. They need to spend at least 100 million to stay up. And that football club, right? They call themselves a big club, right? But they got to spend a lot of money. They got to spend a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money, because some of those players were not cut in the Premier League. Chris Rigg, obviously 15, 16.
Yeah.
He'll come good. That guy will come good. I know he will. But they need to overhaul that team, their squad. And they need to spend a hell of a lot of money. They have to.
And what about you, Pete? On the Mackhams, if they come up?
Yeah, I think they would go straight back down again. I've heard a lot of Sunderland fans have said they don't want to see that side in the Premier League just yet, because they think it would be too early for them. They would have to spend an incredible amount to stay up and match with the other Premier League teams as well. So if they came back up straight away now, they wouldn't just have the quality to do that.
Being these 6 points for us, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I hope we smash them. I really do hope we smash them. I mean, Burnley
I'd love
is all
to see
about...
the celebrations from the players, like Sir Bruno if he scores, especially at the Stadium of Light. Down at the Stadium of Shite, if Bruno scores.
Exactly. You know what it is, right? I mean, Burnley will come up, and I'll bet you that Vincent Company will probably look at Man City players on loan next season, because Pep gets on well. You watch. They're going to give him like... the Cole Palmers of this world, he'll probably go there next season. He'll probably take half the Man City players as well. And I think Vince Company do well.
I mean, you talk about the Stadium of Shite and you go back and you think, Do you remember that day when Ryan Taylor scored 2011? It was where he took that free kick from and it went in the back of the net, and then Steven Taylor went right in front of the Sunderland fans celebrating at them, doing what Steven Taylor does best. But you know, you always laugh when you hear that video, and there's a Mackham fan, a kid sitting on the ground, and he must be about 12 or whatever, and we all laugh at it. Still, you can still laugh at it now, and he'll go, "You're not going to score from there." And what does Ryan Taylor do? Bang, in
He
the back of
buries
the
it.
net.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yes.
Some little kid, isn't it? And he's like, "Yeah, you'll not score." Yeah, okay. Absolutely, it just cracked me up when that happened, and it was just like, yeah. But that was a hell of a goal from Ryan Taylor. He was a hell of a free kick taker. Ryan Taylor was.
Well, he just.
NUFC Shane, good evening to you. He says Maximum needs Isak and Bruno. By the way, Gordon looked good. Yes, he did. He looked very good, Gordon.
He's going to be some player, him, with the right guidance. And anyhow, I think this guy knows what it's all about. I mean, he's eager, he's got energy. This guy's just showing passion that he really wants to be at this club. He really wants to show us he's a wonderful player. There you go.
Tanji says, at the end of the day, having a load of pints pre-prepared is all saving them employing and paying for more staff stuff for my sake. Yeah, absolutely. Football show. Mason says, Middlesbrough spent loads on that Karanka and went down straight away, but with Carrick you never know. That's the difference, yeah. Paul says, all down to investment in the window, and then it's not guaranteed for Forest example. Yeah, I think Forest will stay up, to be honest with you. Leeds tomorrow at the City Ground. If they beat Leeds at the City Ground tomorrow, I can see Forest will be all right this season, if I'm honest. Foxy says Tim Krul had a shocker today for Norwich. Did he? I don't know what was the score there, because I haven't seen.
3-0 Burnley.
Oh, they got hammered 3-0. Jesus.
At home.
Yeah, but Burnley are a good side, though. You know, that's the thing. Mackham's got beat as well, didn't they, for Millwall?
No, they drew. Did they drew?
Oh, they drew.
Yeah, they drew once each.
Shh. Jamie Beggars.
Again.
Oh, ex-Tottenham player, Sirkin. Mason says Middlesbrough get players from John's Man United.
I think Carrick will. And I tell you what, though, I think whoever gets up this season, the four I've witnessed, Burnley, Sheffield United's going to go. But I think out of those four next team, I wouldn't discount Watford, you know. I would not discount Watford. But for me, I think Borough are best equipped under Michael Carrick. I think he'd do fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, we're going to wrap up there. But before we go, I'm going to go around the table. So, Pete, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you and any shows you've got coming up as well?
So YouTube channel PD Prologue. I've done my quick thoughts after the game. I've done a fan reaction with Lawrence, Geordie View. So that's out now. So yeah, and I'll have the match review and play ratings out for tomorrow. Not sure what time yet, but that'll definitely be out tomorrow. So feel free to check out, subscribe to my channel PD Prologue, and follow me on social media, PD Prologue as well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Thank you, Peter. Archer's girlfriend was on earlier, granny on me on the wall. Looking for Archer. John, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you, mate?
Yeah, thanks so much for having us on, guys. I really appreciate that. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on TikTok, on Facebook, John Sinclair TV, also on YouTube, and also you can find us on John Sinclair 50 on Instagram, and you can also find us John_NEFC42 on Twitter. And I've got a show tomorrow. I mean, hope you can make it tomorrow, Tony, if you can. I don't know what you've got planned for afternoon. What is the best time, though, man?
What, tomorrow?
Yeah, probably about 3, but
3,
3-ish, 3, 4.
3, yeah. 3 would be better.
Yeah, 3 is fine. I'll let Rory know, and Stephanie Burt is coming on as well again. She was on last week, and I'm going to try to go on again tomorrow as well. So we're going to have a match review show with player ratings, and we're going to discuss ASM. We're going to discuss the latest on tickets as well for the Carabao Cup final. Yeah, just join us, and if you're new, hit the like, subscribe, and away we go. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, yeah, if you like what you see, then please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results. So smash those likes. Thank you. Either now or on your way out, just smash that like. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. I'm currently on 347 subscribers, so I'm 3 away now from 350. But yeah, guys, I'll go out with the intro. Out with the outro that I did earlier on. In case anybody's missed it, Pete's probably not seen it because I did do a bit of a surprise night when I'd done the build-up show. I had a twist on the intro coming in, and Rolly thought it was pretty clever and pretty great. So, and then I done it on the way out. So I will do it on the way out on this one. But guys, I've got a comment just come in. Just check that out. Great show, lads. Good night, says Phil. Yeah. And Foxy says, Krull took a goal kick to pass out to an Norwich defender and passed it straight to a Burnley player to have a one-on-one. Burnley scores, lol. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
What a sickener. What a sickener.
Wow.
But yeah, I did this earlier. And so, guys, we'll see you again very soon. And it's 1-1. Yes, some people would... Yeah, we're disappointed about the draw, but at the end of the day, it's a point, it's a positive. So let's look at that. We're still in the top 4. Man City will probably smash Spurs tomorrow, so they won't close the gap on us. But until then, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and enjoy this little twist to an outro going out. And bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.